Hello! Do you want to learn how to color and composite your drawings or animations, but don't know where to start? And hopefully this video can at least push you in the right direction. In basic terms, coloring refers to the act of getting your foundational colors down, like this. This goes for both illustration and animation. While some styles may vary, the most important part of either of these mediums is your foundational color use. If your foundations are off, then there's not much hope for the rest of it to stay standing. Compositing then, not to be confused with composition, is sort of the final stage of this. Once you have all your necessary colors and maybe a bit of shading, what's left is to make it look like a professional final shot. There's several different examples of this. Compositing is just as, if not even more nuanced than base coloring can be, and it all depends on your preference and what you want your scene to look like. In a lot of anime, like Jujutsu Kaisen, they use a technique called Kaganashi, which is a minimalist animation method that emphasizes more fluid and fast-paced movement by choosing to ignore drawn-on shading, instead relying on post-production. This is just one of the many ways that compositing can really make a difference to your animation. Something I can suggest is to first draft up the colors for your background, and pick the colors of the character afterward. Since light in real life is made up of reflections, then the colors of your scene will have influence on the color of your character, and this is completely without taking into account proper shading or lighting. There's plenty of other techniques to get your color use down correctly too, such as using grayscale to see how your scene looks in terms of its basic balance and contrast. For compositing, while this is usually done in a proper editing software like Adobe After Effects, there's a pretty good amount of compositing you can do in an illustration software like Clip Studio Paint. If your scene is quite dark, then a common practice is to pick a color from your background with the eyedropper tool, and overlay it onto your base colors as a multiplier. This easily and automatically balances the colors of your character as though they were naturally part of the background. This can be adjusted to your needs, and various lighting can be added as well. Small details like this can really help your scene look professional. Another small technique is to duplicate your character layer and apply a light Gaussian blur with an overlay, and this will soften the harsh lines and give a subtle blend to the flat colors. This video by Dongchang is a fantastic resource for learning how to composite a full scene in Adobe After Effects, and even links some useful plugins that I've used myself. The website he links is full of other plugins too, so don't be afraid to look around and experiment. If you're looking to composite on a bit more of a budget, however, might I suggest DaVinci Resolve. While slightly more limited, there's a lot of built-in features that are completely free to use, and plenty of resources online to get you started. Here are some examples I made myself, one in DaVinci and one in After Effects. While I personally may prefer to use After Effects for compositing, DaVinci Resolve is a perfectly good alternative, and ultimately your preference is completely up to you. I hope you were able to learn something useful or interesting from this video. Good luck, and have fun compositing!